Hello, this is an overview of the new Manage Connections tab. This is version 2.39 or above. What we've done here is we've added some features and allowed for the loading of the CSV file that you can download from your LinkedIn connections. So instead of downloading 200 or 300 profiles a day, as we have been doing for a long time, and then bringing them into the software, now what you can do is you can simply change this from default on the type to using CSV file. So it says X to X using CSV file. So what that means is, let's say that you bring in 2,000 profiles, actually pieces of data in a CSV file that you've downloaded from LinkedIn. All of your profile connections are there, all of your first connections. And so what you can do is you can begin a campaign where you set the range 1 to 100, and first actually you load it by clicking the CSV button right here, and then bring the file in that you've downloaded. And then you can set the range, so you can set it 1 to 200. At a time, you can do a couple hundred profile sends at a time. So 1 to 200, and then you would start 201 to 400, etc. every day. And I wouldn't send more than a couple of hundred a day in this 2018 environment that we have now. It used to be 300 plus a day, but LinkedIn is a little bit more strict in this day and age. And it'll show the how many you brought in your CSV. And so this is the X to X using CSV file. Okay, that's under of type. All right, and you can also set specific titles using CSV file. So for instance, you could put in CEO or manager. Okay, let's say, and it will search for the title, and you can set the limit to 100 or 200, and it will only send those profiles from your CSV that have manager in the title. So this way we can focus our campaign specifically to a type of profile. Now normally when you're not using the CSV, okay, then you set it to default, and then as you download your profiles, okay, the existing profiles that you have, then you would select send message. Okay, you would have your message sitting here, maybe a thank you for connecting message, and you just hit the play button. Now what's the consideration here? So if you have more than, say, 400 or 500 profiles, first connections I should say, inside your LinkedIn account, then you might want to use the CSV file. But if you only have 400 or 500 connections, then you might as well just go ahead and download them into here, and when you're downloading, okay, if you've got your old connections, if you want to send a message to them, then you select send message, and don't do more than a couple hundred. It's best to do 100 at a time and space it out, like 100 in the morning, then 100 in the evening, then the next day another 100 in the morning, another 100 in the evening, etc. Okay, and if you select send message, when you click the play button and the profiles download, it will send whatever message you have selected here, all right, in the message system. All right, you don't have to click message. So that is kind of a kind of autoresponder type system that we have, and that's how you would use it to download your existing profiles. But again, if you got more than about 500, you might as well download your CSV file and just load it in through this button, and then manage it that way. Okay, because you don't want to take more than a couple of days to download profiles. You don't want that to get in the way of your campaigns. What's this duplicate message here? Okay, well, if you download the profiles, let's say you've got 400 or 500 profiles, and you decide to download them into the system for future sending, but you don't necessarily want to send them right now. So you can go ahead and download them, and you can send to them anytime you want. Now, some people always change their message. They'll send a message, and then the next message that they send to their connections is a different one. However, if you want to send the same message, all right, then you select duplicate message. All right, now this is a fail-safe so that you are instructing the software to only send a new message unless you have this selected. So it's just a kind of a fail-safe thing, and so that you understand that you're sending that same message to people, because normally you would not send the same message over and over. Okay, but if you want to override that, select duplicate message, and then you can send the same message to the same profiles. All right, so this location here, this is a little thing I invented to clean your network as you download your profile. So let's say that you've got 500 profiles, or however many, and you want to download them here. Okay, you just want to download them into the software for future use. You don't select send message. You just simply put in any countries that profiles are from that you may not want to keep. So why is this important? Well, some people, they have, and I'm guilty of this, they have went out and they have just connected with a bunch of people just to get their first 500 connections so that it looks good. And there's places like Top Linked where you can go give them a few dollars and you'll have hundreds of people connect with you. But these are primarily marketers, and there's a bunch of them that are from India, Pakistan, and Philippines and stuff like that. And so if you're doing that initially just to build a network so it looks good, it's not a bad thing. But later on, as you build the proper connections, you want to take them out. So this creates an easy way for you to clean your network. So I could have called this network clean, but the main thing is you can just put in whatever countries you want to exclude from your list when you bring in the profile. So any of those old profiles that are from other countries that you may not want to keep, it'll just automatically not include them on the download. I would have never thought of this myself, but I had several people actually ask me to put this in, so I did. Anyway, after you bring down your few hundred profiles, let's say, and let's say you're not using the CSV, let's say you're using the default, you've got 500 profiles in here. All right, well, then let's say, well, you want to send to them. Well, you can select, however many you want. You've got your limit, 100, and you can select those and then hit message and message them anytime that you want. Now, this manage connections, I know it's kind of busy, it's doing a lot of different things, but everything has its purpose, and it is actually, if you've got more than 500 connections, it's really nice to just be able to load that CSV file, load them all up, and then be able to message them. Most people, though, as they're starting to use the My Business AI software, what they really want to focus on is what their new connections are, and I'm going to go ahead and get into that in a different video. The only other thing I want to cover really quickly is socialproofpower.com down here. We have a system that we developed that you would have to pay extra for, but you can create what's called active contact, and it will put messages at the top of the website or blog or whatever link that you're promoting, and communicate with the person when they first see it. It's pretty cool. So it's very low cost. So if you want to check out socialproofpower.com, you can, and that's what that is about. If you want to add that to your LinkedIn connection sending. Okay, so this is the basic use of the Manage Connections. When I do the New Connections tab, then I will show you how that integrates with the Manage Connections.